How long does it really take to become a software engineer? How long does it really take to get your first job, to become a web developer, front end developer, back end developer in tech? Does it really take 6 months? As a lot of people have been following me over the last 7 years, which is insane. People know me as a guy who got his first job as a junior web developer in 3 months, which is not normal at all. And that did happen. And I really want to talk about this topic right now because there's so many people where I receive emails day after day, DMs in particular on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, comments on YouTube of people taking years to get their first tech job, of people giving up because it's so difficult. And I understand why people give up because it's not easy. It is hard as hell to get a job in tech, to make the money that we make today. But before I go into this, I want y'all to listen to this really quick and see how long it takes to make this amount of money in these different careers, okay? So cardiologist, it takes about 13 years to become a cardiologist, includes 4 years of undergraduate, 4 years of medical school, 3 years of internal medicine residency, 3 years of cardiology fellowship, 13 years, and the average salary of a cardiologist is $438,000 a year. But that's after 13 years of college. And they make $430,000 a year, which is a lot. That's top 1% in the country. Anesthesiologists, it takes them 12 to 14 years to become an anesthesiologist, right? And their average salary is $392,000 a year. Dentist takes 8 years to become a dentist, and their salary is $178,000 per year. That's the average salary in the United States. A pharmacist takes 8 years to become a pharmacist, and their salary is $130,000 a year. And it took them 8 years. And their higher potential salaries go up to $150,000 a year. And then a lawyer takes 7 years, okay? 7 years to complete law school. Average salary for lawyers is $126,000 a year. Of course, it can go up to millions depending on the firm that you work for. So let's just let that sink in. These people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year take years of constant school, of doing internships, of law school, medical school, and have to study nonstop compared to a self-taught developer, by the way. Compared to a coding bootcamp, by the way. And it takes these students, doctors, you name it again, prestigious careers, by the way, over a decade to become the professional they are in their career. That doesn't even include the $1 million of debt they have to get into, by the way, to get that insane salary. And so when I see so many people give up because it takes so long to get your first tech job, when I see so many people give up because it takes 1 year to get my first tech job, Chris, I see people complaining how, Chris, I studied code and I've been trying to get a job for years. It's not for me. And that could be the case for sure. I know someone where they went to coding boot camp and they hate that it's taking more than a year to get their first job. Now, that does suck. But not everyone will get a job right off the bat the way I did. That's not normal. If you're not getting a job for 1 year, you have to really evaluate yourself and what it is that you're doing wrong. You need to record your interviews, technical interviews, just to see how you can better improve. Don't just rely on what you learned in coding bootcamp. Don't just rely what you learned from, Udemy, Zero to Mastery, you name it, although Zero to Mastery is legit. Don't just rely on that. You have to go above and beyond. And I say this so many times, time after time after time. But people, it just doesn't get through. And I understand, though. I understand. People will get discouraged, and that's part of life. That's part of trying to get into tech. It's mind-boggling because I rejected an opportunity. Right? I worked for my current job, and I did interviews when the layoffs happened. And I rejected an opportunity to make $50,000 more at another company, tech company startup. They were going to pay me $250,000 base salary. I make $200K right now. And I told them, no, I'm on my route to getting promoted at my current company, and I just want to stay where I'm at right now. And I know I would have gotten that job. And when I saw who they hired, not that I think I'm better than anyone, but this person that they actually hired isn't technical at all, right? They're not technical, and they got the job that I was going to go for. And I sometimes tell myself, geez, what if I actually really continue with the interview, seeing my first base salary offer of $250,000 a year. You see Joe Tech on his YouTube videos years ago, where he talks about how at Facebook he makes $250,000 a year. And I remember thinking to myself, telling myself, I could only dream of that ever being me. I could only dream of ever achieving that as just a salary, consistent salary coming in. For me, after taxes, every single month, that's $15,000 in Las Vegas. When I get married in a couple months, that's $16,000 after taxes in Las Vegas. That's so much freaking money. And the reason I bring this up is it took me 7 years as a self-taught developer. I'm not the best developer out there, but as a self-taught developer, it took me 7 years to reach this point. It took me 7 years to reach the point where now I'm making $250,000 base salary, $250,000 a year. You mean after 4 years I made $1 million? When I remember when I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I remember just counting my income at $28,000 per year, it would take me 20 years, 25 years to make $1 million. And then here I am now today rejecting salaries, base salaries of $250,000 a year. That's mind-boggling. And I have these opportunities, right? But this didn't happen overnight. And you have to understand how many times I thought of quitting time after time. How many times I thought of just giving up myself. Even a couple months ago, I was starting to think maybe tech isn't for me because I'm not the best. Right? I always want to be the best. Or maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe no one likes me because I'm just not that good. But again, that was all in my head. Not true at all. Even to this day, I often think of maybe I should just quit. But I don't. I'm not quitting. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep going as hard as possible. When it comes to this career in tech, I absolutely love it. I'm good at it. I'm very good at it. Man, I love my job. But I didn't get here overnight, everyone. So how long does it actually take to become a dev in tech? If this was 2 years ago, I'd say 6 to 12 months. But with all these layoffs that are happening right now, with so many people trying to find a job after being laid off, it's going to be harder, of course, obviously, with literally hundreds of thousands of layoffs since July of last year. Now, on a good note, layoffs have lessened in June. There were less layoffs this month than the last 10 months. There are less layoffs now than there have been in the last couple months, which is great, which means hopefully that our careers in tech are just only going to improve and get better, right? So how long will it realistically take to get that first job in tech? Right now, I'd say 1 to 2 years. Oh, but Chris, that's way too long. I don't want to wait 1 to 2 years. Then you should have done better in high school. You should have got straight A's in high school. Get a scholarship to UCLA, to Stanford, to Harvard, you name it. Get your 4-year degree there. So before you even graduate from college, someone would have offered you a $200,000, $300,000 tech salary. Unfortunately, though, a lot of us didn't do that. I didn't take school seriously back then, which is one of my bigger regrets, to be honest. My life would have been easier getting an insane salary right off the bat, right? The things I would do to make sure that I never had to have to go through struggling and actually being hungry and not knowing what I'll eat the next day. I don't ever want to have to go through that again, and I wish I never had to go through that. But I had to learn. Unfortunately, we're not in that situation. Now we have to work even harder. We have to put in more effort. The fact that we don't have to wait 13 years to make $400K a year, that could probably take you 5 years in tech, depending on how hard you work, right? The fact that $400,000 a year is a lot, even to me, that's very achievable in tech. Like, I know I'll achieve that. And not needing to go to medical school, not needing to take $1 million in student debt.